Hola. Probando.
Hello, Rodrigo. Hello. Yes, we were about to start.
Okay.
We were just giving some time for people to come. By the way, next time you have to come. You know, I want to tell you one of the things that were commented here. We may have been in other congresses, maybe better, but it's not such a good place and with such a good view. So you're missing our view. Huh?
Maybe we need to show the view. With your mobile phone, you can set the how to.
Yes, we're in front. We're in front of the bay of Posidonia and Finicas in the
Here-
west
here-
west side.
Here you can view.
It's in the west southern part of Syros, of the island of Syros, and and even it's difficult to capture if you're not here, feeling the air,
The atmosphere.
the atmosphere, and the good ambience.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yes,
I think we can feel it. I think we can feel it.
you can feel it. So it's, by the way, in any case, the reflection behind Antonio can give you an idea right after. But we appreciate if you turn off on the cameras because then we see each other. By the way, it will be good also to take some picture, but in order to facilitate participation, that's great. Thank you very much. See now, Jaime, Alvaro. Now we feel being together. So that Daniel didn't have that camera, but it's actually there.
This is with the
And
mobile.
Noelia is in front of us.
Pero ya no está.
Juan, I want also to make a short comment about that, about the making or not making the profiles. There is an issue of all the people who doesn't have yet the profile. So, for example, some people in the team, I think is Juan Romero, don't have good profile, and that makes that in our database there is no link. So that means that when we certify that a proposal or something is being presented, we cannot establish the link that exists between the authors. So if you don't have the proper profile, then there is actually no link for us. So we have several proposals in which we have only the link to the authors that had really real profile. So for the others, we don't have it. So for several reasons, as I have tried to explain since the beginning, for us it's important to have those profiles. What are you looking for?
I would like to show a profile with all the metadata just to
Mm-hmm.
to facilitate the things that they have to do.
Yes, yeah.
Something like that with all the description, all the metadata.
So click in the form.
Yes.
So
the way to update.
No, you have to access first, otherwise you don't.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. and then you edit with form, and when you edit with form, then you have to remember that when you enter your picture, use a name with your name. It can be your user name. That's the better. That's the best thing. But in any case, make that the file that you enter into the system has a name that identifies you. At least it has to be the only file that has that name. Take into account that we have hundreds and hundreds of users. So that means if you write down, for example, Luis, there are more Luis, and it's possible that that there is one Luis PNG. So the file. So that's
So
important.
This is your user name.
Yeah, that's my username. Or you can also see it in the URL. So user the name is always in the URL. The username. Okay. So we have several presentations. So for today, there were several topics still left regarding clear communication. So we are going to go first with those, and we have another's concerning semantic analysis, semantic representation, and also some applications on this semantic approach into the field of education. So we can start first. So the first slot will be for those concerning clear communication. If among those, we have from Jaime and Ana, and a comparative analysis and readability by Cesar and Rodrigo and Sonia. I don't know who is the one who is going to present. I suppose it's Rodrigo. About the photographs. How was it? Rodrigo, Cesar. Yeah, from photograph to linguistic analysis. Then by Asier, who is going to present, I think, is Sonia, right? Asier and Sonia. No, who is going to present?
Asier presented, but Asier presented in Spanish.
O sea, but it's Asier himself.
Inconvenience.
Asier himself is going to present, but this is still not here.
Yes. It's in the 5 of 10 minutes. He
Asier, this is a contribution from Asier, Jorge, and Sonia towards plain language concerning legislation. So what in the Spanish problems in that collecting from a long period of time. Okay, that's kind of the first track. Then we have 2 concerning that will be kind of a second track. 2 concerning semantic analysis or analysis of coherence. Daniel saw a little bit in the first day. Isaac, together with Patricia and Nieves, they have another about analysis of coherence. And then we have by Ana Marin, one application of robotics using clarification for bringing about knowledge about systems in general. And Noelia about also an application of conceptual clarification or gamification for conceptual clarification in a particular domain. So they are kind of 2 applications of conceptual clarifications in very different scenarios. So that last track, so we have 3 and 4. So we can start with, it doesn't matter, with the first track regarding clear communication. Is for me the same. I don't know what are your preferences. Rodrigo, so it can be Rodrigo, it can be Asier, no, because it's not here, or Jaime, no? I suppose it's Jaime, and Jaime is not. Yes, Jaime here, yes. Great. Okay, then Jaime or Rodrigo. I can tell you that in our screen, Jaime is the first. So you can start.
I mean, I don't mind. So I'm gonna share my screen, and then we can start.
Of comparative analysis of readability.
Yeah, just to check, can you see my screen, my presentation? Is it well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very well.
Okay. So, I'm gonna start right now. Good morning. Today I will present my research paper called Comparative Analysis of Readability in Digital Financial Communication in English and Spanish. This project has been elaborated by and with the help of the Department of Informatics of the Carlos III University, alongside with my tutor, Ana María Iglesias. The study itself analyzes how financial texts may differ in structure across languages and whether automated rewriting can improve readability while preserving meaning. The key question is, does readability depend more on language or on how the text is structured? Before explaining how we proceeded, it is important to understand why readability in finance matters. Financial communication influences investor decisions. If texts are too complex, they can create confusion and reduce trust. Also, financial language is usually dense and technical, which makes it difficult for non-specialist readers. And at the same time, digital and fintech platforms are expanding access to financial information. So for this reason, improving and measuring readability becomes especially relevant. This study has 3 main objectives. First, to compare readability in both English and Spanish financial news. Secondly, to test whether automated rewriting can improve clarity. And third, to analyze whether improving readability affects the original meaning. These objectives lead to one central key question. Is there a trade-off between readability and semantic preservation? The corpus we used was created specifically for this study by us. We will gladly share it with the rest of you. And it includes 100 financial news articles, 50 in English and 50 in Spanish from 3 different websites, each one. For the English articles, we generated up to 4 versions. The original text, the simplified version, a Spanish translation, and the simplified version of that Spanish translation. And for the Spanish one, we use only the original and simplified versions. We did not translate it back into English. Why did we do that? We kept English as the reference starting language to maintain one single translation direction. Translating in both directions would have introduced more variability and reduced control in the comparison. To measure readability, we use a different index for each one of the languages. For English, we use the Flesch Reading Ease Index. And for the Spanish, we use the Fernandez-Huerta Index, which is the adapted version for Spanish. Both metrics are based mainly on sentence length and syllable count, so they focus only on structural complexity. To evaluate meaning preservation, we use semantic similarity models, such as SBERT, which measures similarity at the sentence level, and BERT scores, which specialize in token level comparisons. This combination allowed us to evaluate both readability, improvement, and semantic stability at the same time. To improve readability, we did not use a single prompt. Instead, we tested multiple rewriting prompts throughout an iterative process. Each version was evaluated using the same goal, improve readability while maintaining a semantic meaning. After each test, we refined the prompt step by step to better balance clarity and semantic similarity. Just to clarify, our prompts were implemented using the GPT, the 5.2 version, for its accessibility and strong performance. This control process allowed us to compare different strategies, as we're going to see in the next slides. But first, a key finding of this study is was the trade-off between readability and meaning, as we have talked in the previous slides. If rewriting is more aggressive, readability improves a lot, but the text moves further away from the original meaning. On the other hand, if rewriting is more conservative, meaning is preserved, but readability improves only a little. So the best solution is to find a balance between improving clarity without changing the text too much. This balance is the main idea behind the final prompt selection. As we can see in these next slides, for example, in this table, we are comparing a test of a series of texts we pass through the different prompts in Spanish. As we can see, our prompts improve readability compared to the original version, which had a media of 50 points. That's why all the readability column is highlighted in blue. However, readability alone was not the only criteria we used, as we have said in the other slides, which also we also evaluated semantic similarity using SBERT and BERT score. The prompt highlighted in green was selected as the final one for a Spanish prompting because it achieved a strong improvement in readability while maintaining a high semantic similarity. For the English one, The original text, again, has a median of roughly 50 points, but this time only 2 prompts improve readability from the original one, which was the one with 75 points, which, as we can see in the SBERT and BERT scores, was very aggressive, and thus we didn't go forward with that. And prompt 7, which not only improve median readability, the median readability score, but also maintain a good semantic cohesion with the original text. After identifying the optimal balance between readability and meaning, those were the final prompts we ended up using. As we can see, both prompts include very explicit instructions such as shorter sentences, preserve numerical data, and no removal of financial information. Once we applied the selected prompts to all text, those were the final results. In the original versions, both in English and Spanish, the readability scores were roughly 50%. And after simplification, both of them improve. For example, English up to 56% roughly, and Spanish up to 59%. For the translated version of English to Spanish, the readability remains mainly the same, and also the simplified version is online with the simplified version for the English original text. Overall, simplification consistently improves readability across all cases, but Spanish tends to show slightly higher scores, but the differences are relatively small. To summarize the main findings, first, the strongest impact on readability comes from text transformation and not the language itself. Second, simplification consistently improves readability in both English and Spanish financial text. And third, the Spanish text tends to show a slightly higher readability score than the English. However, these are obviously different, relatively small differences. Overall, the results suggest that structural changes have a greater effect on readability than language differences. And to conclude with, readability in financial text can be improved without major semantic distortion. As we have said previously, structural simplification has a stronger impact on readability than language differences. And at the same time, the readability semantic trade-off remains a core part in specialized financial text. What we want to do for future research is to extend that to other languages, to measure with different metrics, including the new version of MiddleEgg, which was explained yesterday, and to use more sources of information to increase variability. But overall, this research shows that automated rewriting can support clearer and more accessible financial communication when applied in a controlled way. And with that, I conclude my presentation. If you have any questions, I will be glad to answer them.
Thank you very much, Jaime. And also thank you very much for keeping in time, because that can make that the schedule goes. But it was clear. Thank you. But somebody wants to make comments, questions? Anyone? Please raise your hand. Whoever wants to state something.
I actually want to make a question. Any of your prompts just ask to improve the scores? Just asking for that. Just maintain keep the meaning and improve the scores.
Yeah, I did in some of those prompts. In fact, I tried to make prompts to analyze, which try to, I don't know, to try to adapt themselves to the both Flesch reading scores and the Fernandez Huerta scores, which were the aggressive prompts I talked earlier, that simplify the text very well and improve a lot more the readability score than all the prompts, but it destroy completely the semantic cohesion in comparison to the original text. I don't think if I have answered your question.
So that was kind of your original prompts instead of the last. So because the ones you saw, what was showing is improved readability.
Yeah, the final prompts I showed in the slides were the final prompts. We try to balance between the readability and semantic cohesion to analyze all the possible scenarios. I also try to use a very aggressive prompting just to see how could it affect the semantic cohesion and the readability scores.
I have another question. Is how do you evaluate the semantic consistency between the original text and the second? How do you evaluate that? How do you analyze that?
Well, I mainly use the SBERT and BERT scores, mainly the medians. I did it. I'm going to try to explain myself. The SBERT, both SBERT and BERT scores evaluation, I did it with the first paragraph. They find it between the original text and the simplified version, and also evaluated between the best paragraph that that could be related to the original paragraph. And in both ways, the aggressive prompting got very low scores, even if I link it to the best paragraph they could find, and based on that, I make a decision.
And I have a question. When you recheck the semantic coherence, did you use the same large language model? I would like to know, because it's known, and there's some research about this, that LLM engines used to like themselves a lot. That it's, if I ask ChatGPT to write something and then I ask about what do you think about this writing, ChatGPT will love it, and maybe Gemini won't. So did you use the same engine for measure semantic coherence, the same engine that you used to just make the simplification, well, not the simplification, but the fix of the complexity of the text?
No, but I think he's an expert.
Yes, you use the same model for all this.
Yeah, I mean, I use the model for the simplification, but the evaluation, I did it by applying the SBERT and BERT scores, which was done by a Python class that I applied to the text. It was not done by prompting again to ChatGPT about what did it think about the text.
But what model did you use?
Sorry,
when you speak about expert evaluation, how is that? How does it work? The evaluation of the semantic coherence. that is semantically consistent? Is it a human expert or how it goes? Or you use an artificial intelligence model, not by prompting, but what is the way?
I use metrics, the S-BERT and the BERT score. It was mainly numerical analysis. It was not, I didn't have any expert to make the decision for me.
So you have a human expert?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I base my conclusions mainly on the numerical results.
But for the semantic coherence, for the semantic consistency.
Yeah, I got the scores of semantic cohesion with BERT score and S-BERT, which they show me the medians, and then based off that, I made a decision.
Okay. If we can discuss that in any case if we want to know more details, because we move to the next. So thank you very much, Jaime.
Thank you.
It was quite clear. I may ask you later on about some, but thank you very much, Jaime.
Thank you.
Okay, then we can proceed with the next.
Introduce the next one.
The next one, what we have is Asier is already here? No? Then
Yeah,
we
Asier
go
is
to
here. Asier is here.
So it can be either
Yes,
Asier
this here.
Yes,
or
hello.
Rodrigo. Hello, Asier. So we can go to maybe Rodrigo was ready before, so then you can tell us about your approach using photographs, also to measure readability. So I don't remember exactly the title. I remember what you're doing. So from photographs to linguistic analysis. Are you ready,
Okay.
Rodrigo? You can
Yes.
share this.
Yes.
So Rodrigo is working in the group of Universidad Complutense. So together with Sonia, and they have been working. Rodrigo, Cesar, and Sonia, and he's going to show a very practical application.
Yes. The presentation of the screen. A moment.
Okay.
Perfect. So go on.
Okay. The presentation is from the Photographer Linguistic Analysis. My name is Rodrigo Mejia Conde, and today I will present mobile applications that combine optical character recognition or OCR with linguistic analysis. The main objective of the project is to transform visual text contents in image into editable text that they can by R-gLw using linguistic resource. How can we analyze this text that existed only as image? A large amount of potential basal linguistic information does not exist of digital text. Instantian is a pair photograph scanned documents, posters, books, phone, expression on many other visual formats. Traditional linguists tool generally require digital text or input. Before and linguist analysis can be performed, the text first notes to be extracted from the image. There is a gap between visual information and linguistic resource. reading visual text and linguistic source. On the list which we have visual text source, this includes photographs, scanned documents, books, forms, posters, transcriptions. On the right side, we have linguistic resources, source or corporal language in databases and dictionary and analysis tools. The problem is that the two words of this disconnect. Applications act is bridged between them. It's converting visual text into digital text and makes it available for language analysis within the same environment. And integrate mobile solutions. The application provides a complete workflow with a single mobile application. First, user compiler or importers animes. Then the next is extraction of URL. The extracted text can be reviewed, edited, and analyzed. Finally, the results are present through visual indicators and reports. The applications also emphasize privacy because the processing is performed locally on the base. In addition, usability directamente on mobile services making linguistics analysis more accessible. The other component is responsible for extracting from the machines. User can later capture una photography or select existing images for devices. The application automatically detects and extracts textual and contents. The extracted text can be edited, copied, or the clipboard exported or sent to linguistic analysis module. An important advantage is that the user can work with fast text in real-world conditions, which rewards perfect scanned documents. And linguistic source. Once the text is available, the linguistic analytics processing begins. The text may come native from observed extraction or retrieved from the clipboard. The system performs normalization of the connection before applying linguistic processing. Lexical information is obtained from the four corpora, including the corpus 21 and the corpus español web or COW. The analysis also considering grammatical categories such as nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. The source allows the application to estimate lexical difficulty and frequency of use. Visual interpretations. The results are present through color-based visual representations. Each color is classified according to its frequency of use. Very frequent words appear in colors, with less frequency words appear in different colors. Dialogues usually identify lexical complexities quickly and intuitively. Instantaneous raising numerical values long user can evaluate the correlations which parts on text contain more common or less common vocabulary. And the reports and applications. In order to analyze the visual representation, the applications generation a linguistic report. The report includes an R-gLw lexical score from 1 to 10, vocabulary distributions, information, automatic interpretations, and radical recommendations. The result can be useful in different contexts. For example, they may support educational activities, linguistic research, accessibility studies, and language learning. The objective is not only the provide data, but also the facility interpretations. The movie, the demo. And the conclusions. The conclude this application is not intended to replicate existing language resource. Instead, it facilitates access to resource from content that originally exists on only as images. The project integrates images statistics, also linguistic analysis and reporting within a single mobile workflow. Processing is formatting locally on the device, reducing the dependency on external services. The application also helps bring linguistic results closer to visual and mobile environments. Other work include the integrations of the additional linguistics resource, analysis modules, and expanding lexical databases. I will hear onwards and answer and questions.
Thank you very much, Rodrigo, for the presentation. May somebody want to make a question, a comment? If anyone wants, just raise your hand. Here.
Well, I have one question. You put slides in which you present the OCR that you have used. Or no?
Repeat.
The sound quality is not good now. Can you repeat?
It's you, Rodrigo. You have to mute.
I think it's,
Or maybe you can write
Rodri, cierra el micro para que no se escuche duplicado.
please,
Okay.
Now it's off. Okay. Rodrigo, it's just one simple question. What technology have you used in order to perform the optical recognition of the different characters?
the OCR.
The OCR. Which technology? A classical one? One related in AI? One LLM? What is the technology that you have used for the OCR?
Yeah,
I have muted your microphone. You need to unmute.
Okay. The technology is not done here. Never. It's the Google ML Kit, one motor tools local device offline, no service externes de Google or other service externes. It's full offline. And the Google is very potente, no sé cómo decirlo.
Powerful.
Esa sería la tecnología.
Okay, thank you.
But maybe in that respect, because we have been working on that, you may know what is really working better, because we the day before yesterday, we were presenting because we had to work with the OCR to recover all the corpus from the book of Charles Van Diccionario, de Teoría General de Sistemas. And then we saw that we have to go to artificial intelligence OCRs in order to make up to get better resources. So Daniel knows, because he had to investigate a lot.
But our sources were really noisy with badly formatted original text. So, well, in our case, it was it gave us a better solution, but it hasn't to be the optimal solution for every case, of course.
Yeah, but in case you find any issues regarding the conversion into the text, I can remember when we were doing some testing it was in March, I believe, when we meet in Universidad Complutense. when the capture is being done, when the recognition of the characters is being done, sometimes may appear depending on the text, and it could be for the future, at least for the future work. Maybe good bearing in mind that if it's too noisy, as Daniel is saying, maybe other kind of OCRs can be interesting, at least to try. If that were a problem. And but in any case, that's only one part, of course, because I think the expanded lexical database and to do other analysis, because it is mostly done, as I have seen, on the metrics of the usage of frequent words and so on. Maybe also trying on other analytics, I think it can be worth, but for the future.
Mhm.
Okay, so thank you very much.
I think that
Also,
it's a
Anna,
question for Anna.
Anna, you raised your hand. I don't know whether she raised intending to say something, or she wanted just to give an applause. Because I think she raised the hand and then right after.
Okay, now
Hola.
Anna,
Hi, sorry. Sorry, I'm driving and I just wanted to Rodrigo did, and Rodrigo was checking different OCRs. And we finally decided that the Google OCR is the best one, because we were trying even with letters in t-shirts. So, and even with that letters that were not completely plain and everything, it works really, really good. And we previously worked with
and
were not so good. Can you hear me?
The sound is very bad,
Oh, I'm
Anna.
I think your connection,
Yeah,
We can-
I'm so
or maybe
sorry.
our.
Yeah, because
Or maybe our.
I'm driving.
See-
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
You have to tell us afterwards. Because
in another
Daniel was
time.
believing to
But the
capture
idea is
something.
that Rodrigo
Completely.
was trying with different OCRs, and finally we decided to use the Google OCR because it's the best one. So I just wanted
Okay.
to say that.
Okay. So it's very reliable. Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
tried with others, even in t-shirts, and the letters were not plain, and even with letters in t-shirts and in other documents that were not completely plain, it worked really, really good. Even with curves and everything.
That's very interesting. We get best results with really noisy images with Paddy OCR. It's a Chinese effort, and it's very powerful. Well, we will try Google also. Thank you so much.
Which one you said? Sorry, Daniel.
Paddle OCR.
Paddy OCR is a pipeline.
Paddle Ocean.
system.
Paddle.
Yeah.
Paddle.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
OCR.
they have a very big system. Yeah, sure you know.
Perdón, es que estoy en una reunión. Sí, me voy ahora mismo, perdón. Estaba pensando que iba para allá. Sí.
We'll,
Sorry.
thank you. We got the idea.
We will discuss later. That's.
I'm
thank
sorry.
You so much.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you to you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so we can move to Asier. Asier, he asked, and it's no problem actually, because we have the audience right now is Spanish, but nevertheless we wanted to keep it in English. So do you have, Asier, the presentation? Do you have it also English with English comments?
Yes.
Do you have it?
Yes.
Okay. So he's going to present in Spanish. but with the help of English text. We do that even if we don't have, because we have another offline audience that we will be seeing that afterwards. The recordings will be delivered in the same page of the CEST workshop, like we did in the previous occasions. So for that reason, we want to have materials in English, with the exceptions of the session of yesterday. But if you have the help, and we may have also subtitles for that, then it can be fine. So Asier, you have it. Asier is working in Navarra, and is in the doctoral studies, doing his doctoral studies in Universidad. Is Carlos III?
Complutense.
In Complutense. Okay. With Sonia and Jorge?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you, Asier. You can go ahead.
Thank you. You can see the diapositives.
Yes, we can see it, but share the screen in such a way that it is the presentation. So press the presentation button.
The presentation mode
Okay. Okay. A ver. ¿Now?
There, yeah. Yes, now
Perfect.
it's perfect. Yes.
Ok. Como habéis comentado, voy a hablar en castellano porque si me pongo a hablar en inglés no lo va a entender nadie, entonces mejor que no lo entienda una o dos personas a que no lo entienda nadie. Y nada, pues esto viene de que nos hemos planteado, ¿no? Si se escribe claro en la legislación española, ¿no? Entonces, bueno, ya se han hecho varios estudios sobre si se escribe claro tanto a nivel administrativo como a nivel judicial. Por ejemplo, en el 2011, el Ministerio de Justicia de España realizó un estudio en el que se observó que el 82% de los textos no se entendían, y asimismo, hace poquito, hace 6 años, 2020, Prodigioso Volcán también hizo un estudio de los textos administrativos en el que se vio que el 78% aproximadamente no se entendía. Entonces, pues nos hemos planteado si a nivel legislativo los textos también también tienen ese problema, ¿no?, de comprensión. Y para ello pues, hemos cogido unas métricas muy sencillas, típicas de los estudios de lecturabilidad, y que consisten, pues básicamente, a nivel léxico, de términos, bueno, ya se sabe, ¿no?, que muchos estudios así han visto que se utilizan términos muy técnicos que pueden afectar, ¿no?, tanto a la comprensión como a la velocidad de lectura, y también se utilizan frases extensas con, bueno, como todos sabemos, ¿no?, que bueno, pueden tener subordinadas o sintaxis compleja que puede dificultar la comprensión. Entonces, a partir de ahí hemos descargado 4.132 leyes del BOE, que están publicadas, digamos, desde 1970 hasta 2026. Entre ellas, 998 provienen de la Administración General del Estado y 3.134 de las distintas comunidades. Aquí veis un poco cómo están repartidas. Y finalmente, pues 184 son leyes orgánicas y el resto son leyes ordinarias. En cuanto a los indicadores que hemos cogido, las herramientas, hemos utilizado herramientas también clásicas en los estudios de lectura, variedad de legibilidad, que serían Freelink y Estanza, o la lista de frecuencias de palabras de CREA, de la RAE. Entonces, pues a partir de ahí hemos calculado la densidad léxica, que viene siendo el porcentaje de sustantivos, artículos, de sustantivos, verbos, adverbios o adjetivos dentro de una frase, la longitud de las frases, fórmulas como Fernández Huerta, Crawford, etcétera, y eso hemos hecho. Bueno, en cuanto a los resultados, pues bueno, podemos ver que a nivel fórmulas, todas las que hemos utilizado de la página web de Legible indican que los textos se han vuelto más difíciles desde su publicación en 1970, ¿no?, a lo largo de la historia, digamos que ha bajado la legibilidad de los textos. En cuanto a estructura, hasta 1980 aproximadamente sí que ha habido, bueno, unos años un poco convulsos, en los que ha cambiado bastante las métricas. Se ve que hay, bueno, pues textos de diferentes bueno, que han tenido diferentes estructuras, y a partir de 1980-1990 es como que se va aplanando y como que el estilo se mantiene prácticamente intacto hasta la actualidad. Podemos ver, por ejemplo, en los preámbulos que el número de palabras por frase medio es de 30, y en cuanto a las subordinadas, también en el caso de los preámbulos, prácticamente todas las frases tienen alguna subordinada. También los preámbulos son lo que más se ha extendido en tamaño. Se han llegado, pues ha llegado a multiplicarse por bastante desde su inicio, y en los últimos años cada vez son más extensos, pero esto no solo de los preámbulos, es de todas las leyes en general. Y finalmente, pues bueno, los resultados en general han indicado que de cara a mejorar la legibilidad de la legislación, habría que utilizar diferentes estrategias en función del apartado, ¿no? de las leyes. Por ejemplo, en el caso de los preámbulos, la parte más compleja sería la longitud y la profundidad sintáctica. En el caso de los artículos, quizás lo más complejo sería la densidad léxica y también el uso de palabras muy infrecuentes, pero bueno, en parte también es algo lógico. Y las disposiciones, pues peca un poco de todo, pero en general tienen mejores métricas que las dos anteriores. Con lo cual, a priori, parece que lo que, de cara a realizar esfuerzos a mejorar la legibilidad de los textos legislativos, quizás habría que enfocarse más en los preámbulos. Y bueno, pues como conclusión que hemos sacado de cara a la pregunta de si se escribe claro en la legislación española, la respuesta que creemos es que no. Es que a partir desde los 80-90 aproximadamente el estilo se ha mantenido igual a pesar de todas las políticas y de todo el compromiso con el respeto, con el lenguaje claro, pero que no ha cambiado en nada prácticamente los textos. Y básicamente sería un poco eso. Pues gracias por escucharme y thank you.
Eskerrik asko, Asier.
Eskerrik asko zuri.
De hecho, originalmente, al final Agurne no se animó, pero íbamos a haber empezado con un ongi etorri de Agurne Uribarri el lunes. No,
Bueno.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for you. Vale. Me podéis hablar en inglés si queréis de cara a esto, ¿eh? Os entiendo. Lo que no voy a hacer es expresarme bien, pero entenderos entiendo.
Okay, so the legislation is not clear, but you were very clear. Thank you. So, any comment, any question you want to pose? Your time, raise your hand, make it.
Surprising results, very interesting.
Something I want to tell you that one of the things we have been commenting that has impressed us is the historical trend. We find it very, very interesting, and I don't know whether you have analyzed that. That is right after kind of the execution, so to say, of the Spanish Constitution, the legislation was very simple, with the small preambles, with the frequency, so like the complexity, so the readability, I imagine if we measure, it will be relatively high, and then it come to a trend to normalize, and I just imagine some causality in the fact that jurisprudence, for example, may play a role, or that at the beginning there was several errors when you try to apply to the Constitution, and then there is the fails of the Supreme Court that say no, this is not complying correctly with the law. I don't know whether you have analyzed that, because I find that extremely interesting. So at the beginning, the 70s, so complex, then the lowest point in the 80s, and this stabilization, I find that incredible.
Yes, thank you. No sé si hay alguna pregunta, no me he enterado si lo había, pero thank you.
No, mira, lo que quiero decir es, o sea, el hecho de que en los años 80, o sea, justo cuando se empieza a ejecutar la Constitución, las leyes son más sencillas y legibles, ¿no? Se escribe con mayor simplicidad, pero ¿cómo se estabiliza? O sea, se produce una estabilización Y mi pregunta es si quizá inclusive esa simplificación que se hizo puede haber sido por prisas, puede haber sido por querer en realidad llegar al máximo de gente, pero que tras la acumulación quizá de errores, ¿no? de la ejecución de esa Constitución, que según los fallos iniciales de la Corte Suprema pueda haber llevado, no, que aquí hay que precisar, porque claro, una legislación que también no es suficientemente garantista de que se cumplan los principios de los que debe partir, pues debe que tener cuidado, ¿no? Yo creo que eso tendría que ser interesante el analizar por qué se da eso. También de cara a ver si en realidad es posible llegar a algo mejor cumpliendo con las garantías legislativas. Es decir, yo creo que ahí haría falta como un equipo, o sea, de juristas junto con el de interpretación de la legibilidad, que por supuesto hay mucho que está trabajando el Ministerio de Justicia y hay en muchos lugares y tal donde se está buscando eso, ¿no? Pero ver hasta qué punto es posible simplificar sin destruir la complejidad que es necesaria mantener para legislar correctamente.
Sí, toda la razón. De hecho, eso es una cuestión que se iba planteando desde... No he empezado a leer textos aproximadamente desde 1980, en lo que ya se plantea, ¿no? Si la legislación es o no fácil de leer. Y también se plantea un poco ese dilema entre la precisión terminológica y la facilidad de lectura, ¿no? Pero bueno, al final prácticamente todos concluyen que sí que es posible mejorar los textos y encima muchos de los textos ya no solo tienen problemas de léxico quizás, sino también sintácticos. Por ejemplo, en el preámbulo, el hecho de que hayan frases tan extensas o con una subordinación tan elevada, seguramente si se acorta eso, no creo que influya tanto en la precisión legislativa.
Pero claro, yo creo que habría que analizar, o sea, me parece interesante ver por qué en el año 85 se hace con esa complejidad. O sea, saber cuál es la relación causal que conduce a ese aumento de la complejidad. ¿Por qué pasa eso?
Claro,
porque igual resulta que es que se tuvo que dar marcha atrás por los errores legislativos que generaban esas leyes aparentemente más planas, más al alcance de todos, pero que sin embargo creaban... O sea, habría que ver, ¿fue por inseguridad jurídica? ¿Fue porque los juristas no se sentían en su torre de marfil? O sea, ¿por qué razón? O sea, claro. Yo creo que son preguntas que sería interesante, ¿no?
Pero bueno. Interesantes son. La respuesta no la tengo, pero interesantes son.
No, me ha gustado, la curva histórica nos ha dado aquí para...
Tenemos algunas teorías y lo revisaremos, entre las que pueden ser una que se deba, porque fijaos que es en esa parte de la transición, que se deba a que se derogan determinadas leyes y entonces hay como unos cambios muy rápidos y por eso la variación es muy grande, pero también podría ser, teniendo en cuenta cuándo empieza a estar el BOE de forma digitalizada, también podría ser algunos fallos en la digitalización de los textos. Entonces, tenemos que revisar un poco todos esos datos, pero hasta ahora, bueno, eso es lo que ha salido y como bien decís, es interesantísimo.
Pues eso. Yo tengo acceso a gente así muy cercanos de juristas que si queréis plantear así este tipo de preguntas, estoy seguro que están próximos a poder ver pues qué cuestiones puede haber ocurrido ahí, ¿no? De hecho, muchas de estas personas se formaron justo también ahí en los 80, entonces posiblemente hayan vivido el cambio de la forma de legislar porque es lo que tuvieron que estudiar y después hayan tenido que ver cómo evolucionó. Entonces, bueno, si queréis...
Ya, genial.
Los tengo.
Vale,
bueno, pues entonces vamos a pasar. Muchas gracias. Así es,
Chao.
Sony, Jorge. Yes. Thank you very much. So we move to the second slot. Okay. In any case, Isaac is already here.
Yes.
We can do two things. We can go to the two applications because we have 2 and 2, or to the semantic analysis. What do you have more? What do you prefer? Yeah.
Maybe we can leave this
For the last.
we have one.
Yes,
one
Anna.
from-
Hi, sorry. It's because maybe in 20 minutes I have to go. So
Okay.
probably-
Perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. I sorry, Anna, because actually you told me
It's
yes.
okay. It's okay.
Okay. So then we are going to go to the applications. We have seen this about clear communication. So Anna and then Noelia are going to show us like different applications and different methodologies regarding clarification. So Anna is going to show us. So you can share the screen.
Yeah.
Start sharing the screen. This is something that is doing together with me. The idea that I have mentioned yesterday of using educational robotics in elementary school, but as a means to reintegrate knowledge and reintegrate learning. So, but I let you.
Because you know,
No, I feel responsible because
You want for me is better. So
and it's together with Isaac. Isaac is also, she's doing the doctoral thesis together with the direction of Isaac and myself. So thank you very much, Anna. And I don't say a word.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
okay. So well, my name is Ana Marina Aguirre, and I am a primary and elementary school teacher, and I'm currently pursuing a PhD in Education and Technology at the Universidad a Distancia de Madrid, UDEMA. My thesis advisor is Jose María Díaz Nafría, and my co-advisor Isaac Sian Puyol. I'm going to present my research proposal entitled Educational Robotics in Elementary School, a model for transferable real-world learning. This research starts from a current educational problem. In many schools, knowledge is still taught in a fragmented way through separate subjects that are not always connected. And at the same time, technological immediacy and artificial intelligence can lead students to obtain quick answers and without fully understanding the processes behind them. For this reason, this project focused on the need to help pupils understand relationships, consequences, and systems. The main aim of the research is to develop and validate a pedagogical model using educational robotics to promote system thinking in primary education. In this model, the robot is not understood only as a technological tool, it's also considered a tangible representation of a complex system. The theoretical basis of this proposal is connected with the general systems theory of Bertrand Anfield and the cybernetics from Wiener, especially of the idea of the feedback. The model is based on 3 main elements. The first one, robotic components, through a clearly theoretic, and second one, basic virtual laboratory which supports visualization and with the experimentation. And the last one, a real-world transfer, because the goal is not only to learn robotics, it's to understand how systems work in different contexts. So the validation will use qualitative techniques, such as participants' observations, students' work analysis, and interactions records. And the expected contribution is a transferred pedagogical model that links educational robotics, system thinking, and mindful learning in primary education. That means teach students to understand the world as a big system. So to conclude, this research aims to use robotics, not only a teach technology, is to help children understand how systems work and how this understanding can be applied beyond the classroom. So thank you very much for your attention. If you have any question.
Thank you very much, Anna. Also, you help to keep the watch. so we are on time. So perfect. Does anyone want to make comment, questions? So raise your hand. Or just speak.
No, I have just one curiosity. Maybe my main concern is how to, you want to apply a new methodology in the schools. So maybe one of my main concerns is related to how to evaluate or to validate this new methodology in the school.
Well,
To be honest.
I'm still not quite sure how we are going to do. So I'm starting to prepare this project. So that is the main idea. And then I need to continue for that. So
no, I think this one of it's difficult to see the results that you can achieve with this new methodology, or how to evaluate the result of this new methodology. It's something that I think is a bit difficult.
But you have to do activities with the children, and you cannot share.
But the idea, I mean, my question is more related to how to measure the contribution of this methodology. How to see if it's better than the classical methodology,
So one of the ideas we have is because so when you see how the robot works and you understand the parts and so on, then that part is already done. But then you make it in parallel to, for example, how a cell works, and then how, for example, a mountain emerges from the continent. And by seeing this parallelism, then compare. So the same, how is the reception in comparison to moving to the next class of biology, and then get the lecture about the cell and the lecture about the mountain orogenisis. Then it can. The only way to do that is then by measuring kind of how it was the reception, the engagement, for example. But this, of course,
can I speak in Spanish for a moment, please, to explain?
Yeah.
Vale, hola. No sé si ustedes conocéis lo que se llaman las líneas de indagación que se utilizan en las escuelas internacionales, que lo que hacen es efectivamente esto. Es un tema en concreto poder llevarlo a otras áreas de conocimiento. Entonces, aquí lo que queremos es que a través del robot, es decir, entendiendo qué es el robot, los componentes y todo eso, poder llevarlo fuera del aula para entender lo que es un sistema. Es decir, por ejemplo, yo puedo enseñarles el cuerpo humano a mis niños a través de la robótica. Y cosas o cómo funciona la célula, etcétera. Entonces, es que un tema principal se pueda trasladar a otros ámbitos, que además es un entorno que tenemos real a día de hoy.
Claro, yo eso lo tengo clarísimo y es súper interesante, pero mi principal problema es, vale, ¿y esto cómo medimos que esto funciona o deja de funcionar con respecto a
engagement? Claro. O sea, la
Ana, no te desgastes, estás hablando con cuantitativos, esto es una cosa.
No pasa nada, no pasa nada.
Pero cuando tú quieras venderle, digamos, esta metodología a alguien, ¿no? Tendrás que
a los cuantitativos no se puede, hay que vendérselo.
No, pero podemos debatir. Yo les escucho. No, pero mira, yo, por ejemplo, yo soy profesora de robótica educativa, ¿vale? Yo he estado con diferentes grupos, o sea, yo sé cómo funciona, no solamente he estado en aulas enseñando las materias elementales, sino también he estado orientada a la tecnología, ¿vale? Y los niños aprenden jugando. Y te digo yo que funciona. Porque entonces,
No pongo en duda.
a nivel cuantitativo se puede hacer algún tipo con algún tipo de instrumento se puede sacar. Yo todavía estoy en proceso de aprender los instrumentos que existen para poder, no solo a nivel cuantitativo, pero sino también a nivel cualitativo. De primeras, me gustaría empezar por la parte cualitativa porque yo soy profesora y yo soy más de expresarme y entender y empatizar. Pero sí que ojalá pudiera hacerlo a nivel mixto el estudio para esto que tú dices, para tener fundamentos numéricos.
So in el or I don't know whether to speak in English. So in the following Glossal Lab workshop here in Syros, we will bring
For
the
the next
robot.
year.
So in the next year, we will have here the robot. We will have here some kids, and then make the comparison, comparison analysis. We will try to get some numbers for the quantitatives and some qualitative for the others. So how the joyfulness, I'm sure that Isaac will be able to measure the joyfulness, or will find some way to measure joyfulness. So at least he will cause joyfulness. Okay.
Yes, I leave my son with you to practice if you want.
Perfect. That's what we
Perfect.
need. And he loves robotics. So
yes.
So that means that next year we are coming with him, but not with you, or what is that? Or you're coming
Yes,
and go to the other island,
To the next hotel.
to the next hotel to make experiments. So it's a good contribution in any case. So no, okay, thank you. Any other comment? No? Okay, so thank you very much, Anna. And then we can move to Noelia, who will be talking about joyfulness. It's about gamification for conceptual clarification in her fields. He's from Universidad de Jaén. And so you can share your screen, Noelia. She's not as lucky as us because we are looking to the sea, and she's only looking to the mirror to us. And so we are looking to Noelia and to the sea. So we are very lucky. We cannot be luckier.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sí, no, voy.
Okay, so I think everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Jose Maria and the rest of the team for having me here in this Glossal Lab workshop. As Jose Maria said, my name is Noelia Garcia. I work at the University of Jaén in the Business Administration Department. And my proposal today is based on an innovative teaching project that was I achieved in the university, and the title of the presentation is Gamification for Concept Clarification in Operation Management, the loss in conversation game.
Can you open your microphone?
No.
So, okay, nobody listen to you.
Oh, no, I open it.
It's open or not?
It's open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, okay, now it's all right.
1 second.
Open the.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Okay, and this project is is being developed with some other colleagues from the University of Jaén, University of Alcalá, and University Alfonso X. So, this idea is based on my personal experience in class. I don't know how many of you are professors or are teaching in class, but I guess most of you are going to feel familiar with the situation I'm going to present to you right now. So, how often did you see your students in class typing in the mobile phone, scrolling, and while you are explaining the most important concepts in the course, they are just distracted with the computer, with the mobile phone. Sometimes they are even looking at you, but you feel that they are not listening to you.
I do.
So this kind of experience that I know other professors are also experiencing or feeling, led me to think about a kind of solution, a kind of way to try to avoid this situation and try to keep the attention, the engagement, the commitment of the students with my course, and at the same time trying to improve the result of the course. Because basically this project, this gamification tool, is intended to increase engagement of students and improve the results when we talk about courses and subjects in which the theoretical content is really extensive, when the major weight of the course is based on theoretical contents, is not practical, so it's really hard to trying to get the students' attention all the time, or at least most of the time, and also try to get good results. So this presentation is structured with the main objective that I'm talking about right now: a background, methodology, expected results. Some of them are expected and some of them are well achieved, and then some conclusions. So the objective of this tool was designing an innovative gamification tool in order to increase student participation, engagement, commitment, interest, motivation, and at the same time trying to facilitate the assimilation and the clarification of key concepts in the course. In my case, I applied this tool in operations management course, in business administration course, and now the team are designing the tool for the organizational design course. All these courses are within the bachelor degree in business administration. But as I will say a bit later, this can be used and applied to any course in which theoretical contents are, we could say, the basis of the subject. So in here, as I already said, I had a challenge keeping students interested in increasingly digital educational environments. So we see how digital devices are fulfilling the class, and it's really hard to keep students' attention in what we are explaining in the blackboard. So I researched a bit and found that gamification can be an effective strategy to improve motivation and learning, and then trying to avoid this kind of digital tools so we can achieve this, we would say, for the students to be deeply immersed in the gamification. We decided that board games could be a nice and interesting alternative to digital gamification in a way that we can avoid this kind of distractions. So the research questions regarding this teaching proposal are: does a gamification tool really increase class participation if we compare to a traditional class in which we have these magistral lessons and that's it? Also, regarding this research, does it facilitate the assimilation and clarification of key concepts? So it really contributes for the students to have a more clearer understanding of the different theoretical concepts that are being developed through the course. And thus, this methodology, this method improves students' academic performance. So the results of students using these tools are going to be better, are going to be improved compared to students that are not using it. So the methodology followed: in the first place, we design and develop the board game, and then we base the idea in existing board games that have similar, we could say, modes of play. Then after that, we implemented the board game. So we designed, we printed all the different materials, and then we brought this instrument to the class. And then we are currently in a step 3 with the evaluation of results. So I'm going to explain, well, as quickly as I can, the game design and a little bit of the gameplay. So we have this design. This is the real design of the proposal, and it's a card-based board game. The gameplay is similar to games such as The Impostor, Blank. In Spain, we have El Portero Baldomero. And basically, it is based on cards. As you can see in here, we have different types of cards. We have topic cards, which include 6 keywords related to a part of the unit in the course. Then we have the question cards, which include a question, usually a definition, a characteristic, a typology of elements, which can be answered with 1 keyword in this card. Then we have also a question card, but in this card there is no question. There is a lost in conversation statement. And then what we the way in which this game is developed is, okay, we have teams. For example, I'm going to explain like the situation for a team of 5 people. So we have 4 question cards. So 4 of the 5 people are going to have a question, and then 1 person is going to have this lost in conversation card. So this person, this member of the team, doesn't know what is the question. Then everybody in a table have the unique topic or terms card, in which 6 keywords are reflected there. And then the idea is that the 4 people that have the question needs to read the question and then identify the solution, the concept in the topic card. And then the other person, the person who is lost in the conversation, needs to guess what is the keyword, because, well, it's a bit hard, but basically the idea is when you read the question, you need to say a synonym or an example, something related to the keyword that is the solution for the card, but in a way that is not too easy, because if it's too easy, the person who has know the question is going to guess the solution. But if it's too hard or too complex, too difficult to understand what synonym or what keyword is the one selected, then the person the rest of the people are going to think that you are lost in the conversation, that you don't know what the question is, and then what the solution of what specific concept you are talking about. Then in here you have the different steps. So the cards are dealt among the players. The player with the question card must answer with our synonym, an example, something that is related to the card, something that can have happened in class, something that they know that if everyone has been focused on the class, on the theoretical class, they will know what we are talking about. And the lost player must pretend to know the answer. Then players need to, once everybody has said this synonym, this example, they will ask question, okay, why did you say this synonym or this word? If we are talking about something more related to, so the idea is that in this discussion, the members try to identify the lost players. Then once we need to identify, or once we think that the discussion, is over, then we need to, or the members need to vote. So if everybody has been able to identify the lost player, then they win. But the lost player has another opportunity. If from this discussion about the terms, the concepts, this person was able to guess in a correct way the keyword, then this person wins. If the group votes against a person that already had the question, then they lose. So this is kind of a game, a board game, in which just one part is going to win, the people that have the question, or the people that is, or the person that is lost in the conversation. This is the idea that we have about this gamification tool. Of course, I teach in a Spanish and English group the same course, so it is in bilingual format. So as you can see, depending on the side of the card, you have like the Spanish terms and also an English one. We have questions and then pregunta, and it's the same like in the same sites. And about the evaluation of the results, well, we implemented this game in class. We observe the level of participation of students, and then we assess the participation increase of the students. Also, we developed the questionnaires in order to measure the perceived learning with different questions of a satisfaction, this perceived increase in the interest in the course. And now we are immersed in comparing the grades before and after using the game for those students that failed the course in previous years or in a call, and then they are going to use the tool and they will try again in the next call. So also our intention is to compare, maybe an idea for Ana Marín, not to compare courses using the game and then courses that are not using it. And then as the results where we see greater dynamism and motivation, at least in this class, they improve their understanding of the different concepts. And then we need to, well, we expect an increase in academic performance, but we need to check this. Here I included some pictures of the practical experience. So we divide, as you can see here, the class in different groups, 5, 6 people at maximum. They have in here, for example, the card with the question, Spanish, English. And then in here we have like two modes of clarifying these concepts. First, they work together and then they try to clarify, why are you saying this for a concept I already know? Why the solution for the question is this concept and not this other one? So they need to discuss. They need to self-regulate, we could say, right? Like putting all together the knowledge they have. And also, when they finish, they usually ask the professor, so this is me, and they look for the solution. Are we right? And why this question is not referred to this concept? And then it's also, we could say, like a work of clarifying, when they have these doubts, when they have questions, when they don't feel, like the question or the terms are not clear enough. So we have like this double dimension. And as conclusions, gamification is an effective strategy for learning and also for understanding, for assimilating and clarifying relevant concepts. A board game is an innovative and also accessible alternative. And then the next step is the game implementation and the empirical evaluation in the different courses. And also as a conclusion, I think this is an interesting tool to implement in class, and I recommend everyone that to develop, to adapt this tool in order to use them for their own courses. And I think that's all. Sorry for the time. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, they are super welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Noelia. It's a good counterplay with some of our lesser playful approximations, according to the comments of these days. So anyone want to make a comment, a question? Just raise your hand.
I have one question. This kind of activity, when do you typically make this game in the school, in the theoretical part of the classes, in a practical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, during the course, in which part of the course do you typically do this kind of games?
Well, I think I'm okay. So, well, the initial idea was using just this tool for the revision. So just before the final exam, the last week in which usually we have covered all the different units, we devoted a class, 2 hours class, in order to play the game and then revise all the different units. So we have 7 units, for example, in business administration. And then we selected just one important question or one important concept for each unit, and then we revise with the students every unit. But now we are looking out for, we would say, like printing in a more official way this board game in a way that we have plastic cards and so on. And the idea is selecting about 4, 5, 6 questions for each unit in a way that we have the possibility to revise at the end of each unit in a practical class or in a theoretical session, depending on the time we have. Each unit we are going to revise the main concepts of the unit, and then at the end of the course we can select in a random way a question for each unit, and then the different teams can revise different key concepts for each unit. But the idea is trying to implement this at the end of the unit, so because we left this at the end of the course, and then maybe the problem is that with this game they realize how is their knowledge, the degree of comprehension and understanding of the main concepts of the course. And maybe it's too late for them when they realize that they don't have the synonym, that they don't feel like the solution for the question is easy for them. So based on this kind of experience, we thought that maybe we could implement this after each unit. And then it's a way also to force them not to study every unit more or less daily. And then when they finish the unit, they know what are the most important concepts, and also they also learn how to differentiate some key concepts from other ones, because in previous years, before this gamification tool implemented, we realized our final exam in this kind of courses is quite theoretical, is multiple choice tests, and then we realized that they don't fully understand the key concepts. So they study probably in a way that they read, and they think that reading they are going to fully understand this. Usually they are in class, as I already said, with the mobile phone. They don't take notes, they just listen, and they think that just listening and then reading they are going to understand this. So based on this kind of results, we decided not to try to develop some kind of tool that in a way they know that after each unit they will have this kind of play, and for this kind of situation, we guess that they will feel that they need to focus on put their attention in class in order to being able to play this game in the best way possible, no, compared to the other students. So it's a way of kind of competition, but well, that's the idea. Originally just at the end of the course, but we think that after each unit is probably more interesting for them, to give them time, no, to realize that they are not studying enough, that they are maybe not solving questions or doubts that they face like the previous days of the exam, and then it's too late.
And do you see any possibility of linking, for example, what we are doing in clarification activities, of after, for example, playing those games, to go to clarify the meaning of the concept in Glossala, for example? I mean, if that could be useful or not. So after they have played, they have understood, then try to write it down.
Yeah.
For example, and because this is a second question, one of the things that we have tried to do it in a practical science, as it is telecommunication engineering, then we also ask them propose a code. So propose how this works, not only clarify theoretically, because it's kind of the way you really understand it. And I think in management has to be also similar. So maybe in this case, it could be, okay, then propose, for example, a game in which this concept can be understood. Like, so we always have a section. Do you think it can make sense, or it wouldn't work? So what do you think? You understand?
Yeah. I think it could work. I mean, for example, I think it's more interesting for the students to be able to participate in this kind of activities. So they know the theory, they have attended classes, they have played and then, because sometimes they just listen and they are not able to identify, okay, I'm talking about a concept, an important concept that you need to understand. So I think the game could be like the intermediate step in which they realize that there are key concepts that they need to fully understand in order to be able to comprehend the course or the unit. And then after playing the game, it could be interesting, okay, now we need to write down, we need to take off all this information, all this knowledge, or all this experience that we have with the game in a more formal way. And probably because maybe the thing with the game is just that they will perceive it's just a game, and then we are not learning in a deeper, in a more formal way. So maybe the last step in which they formally go and they formally reflect about the concept and about how the different aspects can be clarified, or how the concept can be defined in a proper way. So we know that this concept, this term is going to be different from maybe a similar one, but what aspects are representing the uniqueness of this element. So I think it could be applied just like a more formal step. So okay, you go to class, you listen the lesson, then you play, and then after that you formalize this learning, this understanding, and then you close the cycle.
We can help you to set it up.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Thank you very much.
There is another question.
Zach has raised.
It's not only a question, it's just to put in the same thing than Noelia. You have to answer Jose Maria saying yes, of course, because I think this is one of our main lacks in the platform. Any kind of gamification system, because if not, everything is so serious and so bored. I think people right now, this has not time to I don't know how to say, to spend in things that at the first time they seem that it's not worthy for them. Maybe only for wasting time in an enjoyable way is also a way of engagement. So I think this is one of the most important keys of gamification. But at the very first of your answer to Antonio's question, you said that you use these techniques at the end of the course of. I think it's also a very big problem. I have been working with these methodologies and techniques in all of the educational stages, in primary, secondary, and the university, and nobody dares to introduce as a main part of the learning activities or the teaching. I'm going to make a research or make an experiment, but at the end of the course, because I'm very, very afraid of if I introduce it at the first part in the main part of the course, something bad is going to happen. But well, the educational theory said no, because you are going to to foster the imagination, to foster the engagement. We are going to introduce a lot of things, maybe not very easy to measure, because the metrics are not going to appear after the very end or after 2 or 3 courses in doing these things. But well, this is it's not exactly a question. It's a call for everyone to try to dare to use it, because it's not going to happen any bad thing. Well, you can maybe waste a bit of time, but not it's not going to be nothing that matters. It's only one more tool to try to improve the learning process, the teaching process. And I have a second question, but maybe you have not an answer. Why do you decide to use card games and not another kind of game?
Card game.
Card games. Yeah.
What? No,
I am not listening.
I already played this Portero Bandomero game, and I don't know. One day I was thinking, and then because I'm sometimes I'm against the use of the mobile phone in class and so on. So I try to think, what could I do, to try to avoid the use of the mobile phone, so they are separated, in this way, in this sticky way, the hand from the mobile phone or from the computer, and just thinking in a way in which we could do some kind of activity in which they don't rely on the ChatGPT or in Google, something like that. And then I realized, okay, it should be something without the electronic devices and so on, probably a kind of activity in which they don't need to look for the information, because they use these devices for looking for the information, but because they will have, or they should have, the information like in themselves. So in that kind of thinking, I thought, okay, maybe a kind of game, a board game or something similar could be nice. And then I don't know how it was exactly. I thought, okay, what about a kind of game in which they use cards, so they feel, it's not like they don't have anything and they feel the need of something in their hands, and then they took the phone, they take the phone or something like that, so they have something that they can touch, and at this time they focus their attention on something else. And because of this game, I found it that it was, it was difficult if you are the person that doesn't have the question, but the other ones, well, in the original game, there is not a question, it's usually just a word, you know the word, and then you say synonym. But in here I say, okay, if the value of having the word and then just say synonym is like lesser than if they have to know. They have to know the concepts, they have to know the idea, and they have to answer a question, because I think it's more, well, they feel that they can achieve something, that they can like prove their knowledge. They are being assessed, and then if they are right, if their answer is the one correct, they are feel like, well, this self-achievement feeling. So I don't know, I just came up with this idea, and I thought, why not something like that they can touch, that they don't require any external, at least at the beginning, just any kind of device. And then if they have doubts and they have questions, they can solve in the team. And if not, they can rely on me and ask whatever they don't have like a clear understanding.
So it's great. Congratulations for the idea. I don't know if you know. I know Antonio knows him. Juanra Velasco from Alcalá de Henares University. I was well, I think it's 15 yes, more than less, 15 years ago. he begins designing. He has it finished and has done a lot of research with it. A card game to explain networks, IP networks, all the protocols, the IP addresses, I think very difficult things to be learned only studying the Kurose book and the slides the teachers use. I'm still teaching this topic, so I know it's difficult for the students to understand the first time they listen about that. And he designed a card game because with the same reason that you did, because it's manipulative and you can it's also very manipulative way of learning to configure routers and connect cables. But the first stage to understand the concept and to make a first understanding of all the network, he used a card game, and it was a really nice experience.
I know the case of Juanra because he told me this thing. Well, he was in my committee for my tenure position at university, and he told me that in fact he doesn't use any other material in the class. I mean, no slides, no. He doesn't use the blackboard. During the whole course, basically, he play with the student in order to to teach the different concept, and the student learn this concept just playing different games related to networking. So how let's play today one game related to how one router perform the networking between one point and he play with the students with different different tips and different things, and at the end it's the way in which he teach the subject. Of course, I remember he told me that the student have a lot of material in the platform. Okay, so in fact he has several videos, so a student before the classes have to show to watch the video and also to review the material they have in the platform. But during the classes, basically they play this kind of games. It's another
I think it's risky, and of course you have to make a lot of testing. We were playing with him a lot of time.
But at the end, sorry, he told me that he has the best result in all this, in terms of
these polls about teaching in the university. Of course, it's a great thing to take the attention of the students. It's very.
So there are several studies that shows that the only fact that you don't have your device in your hands, it changes the attention. So Jonathan Haidt gives a lot of studies in his book of the anxious generation, but there are I have seen it in very often that only that changed completely the behavior of the students. Because, for example, I have played several card games also with the mobile apps because practically it does everything. But it happens that, for example, your phone can vibrate, or you are expecting something else in your phone.
Or you receive a notification.
Or you receive a notification, and you're so used, and I know so much use as many people because I usually forget any place. But in any case, I know people is so attached that they already have a very strong attachment, and the only fact that they don't have that in their hands, I think it changes.
Yeah, but it's not only the attention. What I think is important, but it's also the immersive way of teaching, because I know it's very risky. Everybody, we are a lot of teachers connected to this workshop, and it's everybody can be afraid of changing the way of teaching. I think we are in the moment we have to redesign all of the learning processes because of the artificial intelligence tools. So it's a good moment to again try to think if we are achieving what how and what the students need.
I want to point.
He makes this. He made this experiment 20 years ago. From I think he started 20 years ago and stayed 4 or 5 years designing the game, testing with friends, familiar and fools, like everything, before introducing in their regular teaching. But when he did that, he did it in a complete immersive way, because I think one of the fault everybody had, myself also, is to only make these tiny experiments in not I don't know, not risky moments, because if the game fails, no problem, because the students have their exams, their 13 weeks with their 13 sessions of regular and boring classes, and nobody happens. But this is not the way this research that are written 15 or 20 years ago proposed. They proposed to change all the course complete. Whatever happens, if students are very angry because they are bored with the game, so you have to pay the fee.
I want to make a comment that and it regards also the methodology, even though Anna is not here, but so that I don't forget, with Anna Marin. And it's about how to measure this engagement. If you remember, in the first Glossal Lab workshop, Simone present us how to measure the engagement and how to see when cooperation emerges. And then they take the images and then make a ethnographic comparison. In that case, it was they had to, I don't remember exactly what was, but they analyzed the faces, and it is a moment in which cooperation starts to work, and then everything goes well right after. And he crossed so several parameters, several data, and by crossing that, he could find that something has changed at this moment, and maybe it could be used for seeing, for example, when the engagement, fruitful engagement happens, and that, for example, understanding happens. See, for example, Alvaro has not shown now, but in Munich, he told us about how when you acknowledge something, then the red points, the red words also disappear. So that was that there is an understanding. So about the way you are reading it, you stop and then it flows. So all this kind of observations is what can be used in order to see that, okay, here the understanding is happening. No? Maybe are those kind of methodologies what we can explore to see that learning is happening and that is not otherwise happening. No? But I don't know how to implement. But just I just remember that, Simone. Don't you remember, Isaac, that?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask you, maybe because we have two more. So one is by Daniel. The other, I think, is Isaac is presenting, or is Nieves. I don't know who's going to present it.
Why, if Nieves wants to, but if not, I'll be the one.
Will be.
But I think she is not connected, so I'm going to present.
We have already been 2 hours. Maybe we can stretch our legs for 5 minutes, but only 5 minutes, and then we end with those. Okay.
Great.
Perfect. Perfect. So we do that. Hello, Isaac. Do you have ready your presentation? Have it ready? We may start with Daniel if you want. But have your presentation ready. Isaac, are you there? Hello, everyone.
Danny is there.
We're about Danny. We cannot say Danny is there. No, Danny is here. Hello, 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 everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Teresa, Ana, Juan. Great. So it's nice also turning on your cameras to have the feeling of togetherness. Thank you very much, Teresa, that you turned your camera on. Isaac, he's not appearing because he doesn't have it. Works. You can share your screen. So we can start with Daniel in the first day. Actually, we already pointed out what Daniel is going to develop further. We saw in the first day what we have been doing for several years and in the long term, connecting with long-term endeavors like it was the International Encyclopedia of System Science and Cybernetics, Principia Cibernética, with which we have not worked so far, the Diccionario de Teoría General de Sistemas, the Glossarium Vitri. All that was put into the platform, into the Glossal Lab platform. With that, we have developed several approaches. We have introduced semantic annotation, as we tried to explain you. In the first day, we told you about how we have automated all that because it was very technically difficult when you have limited resources. So we explained you how we did it. And but one of the objectives is to analyze, as Teresa was showing us, analyzing the semantic coherence. So we want to have the measurements that Teresa was telling us, like epistemic diversity, the semantic consistency or semantic coherence. We also want to analyze the clarity. So for the clarity, we tell you yesterday what was our approach, and also the veracity or the traceability with regard to well-justified knowledge, so with good references and so external sources or external applications. So we show you that, and but for that, so we need to have the semantic network. The semantic annotation is useful for that, and what Daniel is going to show us now is the approach we have followed to develop those knowledge maps, that semantic representation, that semantic network, with which we want to get to the other measurements that is important for us in order to build up more theory and to analyze how well the knowledge integration was in our work, in our knowledge integration work. So Daniel is going to explain us how we are measuring, the approaches that we are using to achieve this semantic coherence. Actually, it's still not the measurements. It's more the way we have carried out in order to get to the semantic networks. And it's going to show us like two different ways. Do you have the presentation?
Yes.
So start to share the screen. By the way, Isaac, have your presentation also ready for the next, not now. but
Yes,
for the next.
okay.
Okay, so thank you very much, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Jose Maria, for the presentation. Now we are going to talk about the concurrence and the epistemic flow proposal. We are
It's not nothing. A freaky idea.
is there any problem with
No, because as you can see, the audio is not going out from my computer. Although, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's
Interesting.
Interesting. The way in which Google manages the different.
As we all know, we are all here at the Glossal Lab workshop, and we are enjoying so much. And so this presentation has a lot to do with Glossal Lab spirit, because Glossal Lab is a lot about terms about words. So when we talk about words, you search for a word on Glossal Lab and look at a definition. You always have an epistemological tension, a tension of the meaning of the word. And let's take an example. For example, let's take two words like love and heart. If I talk you and if I put you in a context of an author of maybe a romantic novel, and you hear the words love and heart, you immediately will establish a relation, a relation of meaning of these words, how they relate and what ideas they build on our mind. But maybe if I'm talking about a biological book that may define the word love like, for example, mate impulse, and heart about biological part of my body that helps blood flowing. It's quite obvious these words don't have so much relation between them as the love and heart of the novelist. And this is the epistemological tension we are talking about. This is very important, especially in the context of the Glossal Lab, the Glossal Lab efforts, because it's a fundamental challenge, as you can see in the slide, to navigate the tension between what's written, like the word heart and the word love, and what is conceptually meant. There is a latent probabilistic meaning because there's no one meaning. This has to be a lot with the context. But if Glossal Lab is an academic effort, we need to trace all these relations. Ideally, we want to trace this relation. We don't know if actually we can do this, commit this effort. But current system try to achieve this in two main statistical paradigms: the old school lexicon co-occurrence, that is a syntagmatic approach, where you just take sentences and parse it with space, some of them mechanical means, and you can track the proximity of words between in a corpus, and then maybe establish a relation between words. But and then you can make a similar, well, not a similar map, but you can try another kind of map, just using maybe artificial intelligence as a distributional semantic approach, where really based on very large corpora, these engines can map meaning, mostly, let's call it a common sense meaning in the measure of these LLMs are trained on very broad information. You can extract Latin meaning from the words. Well, so what we propose? We propose just to make a hybrid framework. On the one hand, we would like to use traditional lexicometrics to build a verifiable foundation of absolute textual provenance. That's non-discussion information. And then apply neural cross-encoders, like our first presentation, maybe an SBERT or LLMs, to extract a directional causality. So we want to know if I have term A and term B, how much do I know about term A to define term B, and the opposite? If I know term, how much do I need to know term B to understand term A? And then using both networks by synthesis, we may be able to transform a static flat text into a dynamic topology that tells us more about the relation in the words, farther than the just physical proximity, but with a semantic proximity. This is our proposal of what's writing, what's the meaning. Well, meaning not in an epistemological way, but a semantic way, and how we will try to apply both paradigms to merge the map of the information. Well, that's our first try. We just took the Diccionario General de Sistemas y Cibernéticas, hosted on GlossALab. Then it has a lot of niceties. It's dictionaries and important terms are already highlights, and it has explicit curated human contents, as she also records on most terms. See this information if you want more. Well, then to generate these trees, dependency trees, we preprocess the text. No, nothing new under the sun. Well, in really all of these methodologies mostly stolen from RAG, from RAG systems, when retrieval augmented generative systems that are used on big companies to use AI to like a search engine. Well, we get in the most common way, symmetric occurrence mating, topological pruning to take away some noise, emphasize human-created epistemization, very easy on dictionary because it's done, and then partition thematic clustering, and then our new proposal, maybe novelty proposal. We have used embedding for a first approach of candidates and can be related, then cross-encoder to you can see like a way of asking a model if exactly the last line of the slide that says if the concept term a fundamental prerequisite or necessary baseline to understand B, and then we make the opposite question. We make both questions and then we just extract the results to try eliminate noise. So you might notice this is a very coarse question, and this I think it's very important. It's not fine detail. We are asking for a big model, noisy model, a very broad question, and this is important in order to try to skip false positives. So course, a course prompt, I think it's mandatory, and this is an advantage of this approach. So we could get a positive net flow establishing a straight right edge. When I have a lexicometric approach, I have words that are one next to the other, but I don't know if I find always love and I find heart. It doesn't matter really if I'm talking about a novel where words are very related, or maybe a biological thread where they are not related. It doesn't matter. This lexicometric approach doesn't have an arrow of direction. The semantic flow, this semantic flow might establish an arrow of direction. Well, we implemented 3 node feedback loops as a bonus. I'm going to hurry about this. This is an epistemic illustration of what if I need love to understand heart, term B, in one direction, it might be very probable I need to know this concept, but maybe not in the other. And this implies a net flow of semantic meaning. Semantic, no epistemological. Well, then we get the nice graphs. See you. And so, well, there our prior or first conclusion and as a synthesis, we want to uncover conceptual relation, maybe obvious, maybe not. We want to get the map of what's written, the map of what's mean, but this is not the same. Take advantage of the human curation. We want to contrast well, this is there are a lot of limitations and caveats. This is a work in progress. We are using very small models. We are looking for single word. We should be using n-gram instruction, like lineal and no lineal should be on the same pack of words, but now they are. It's not a problem. It's just a proof of concept. Yeah, and then DGS was written by a single person, and I might be studying just the style of the person. Well, then there are more questions than answers. This is highly speculative, but you will have an opportunity to check the slides and talk with me if you want about these questions. But I don't want to leave without taking a look at our prior results.
Yeah, that's important. I think showing us how it looks like. So also the interesting thing is that we have it is shared in a server, in a Jupyter server that is is shared with the team.
A pair of notebooks. Well, where we have the semantic flow, the first approach for the problem that we are getting, and the co-occurrence. That's loading.
Still loading.
Yeah. It's
you load two at the same time. So
yeah, it's hard on the machine.
click on ocultar.
Yeah, I will.
Click on.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
It's almost there.
And it's a look at the Diccionario General del Sistema semantic flow, where you see the arrows. You can see arrows. Well, this has, of course, some restriction, like a term. Every term shown on this tree, on this cloud, cannot have more than 3 prerequisites. So, for example, in this implosion has 3 terms. The implosion depends, the definition of implosion depends on 3 terms, are 3 arrows that are incoming, but implosion can be a prerequisite for an n number of terms. This, while we see this, we can try and load the code. Co-occurrence is a very typical graph. This is really our new approach, where you can see the arrows implying a semantic flow, where, for example, connectividad, it's a prerequisite. Semantic flow, I need to know what connectividad means to understand what connection and vinculation means, right? And then I have detected a bunch of 3 nodes relation that are circular. Well, this is very common on, of course, system science, where it seems like tipos de organización it's a prerequisite to understand
System.
this will be system, which is so big. And then system is a prerequisite to understand dependencia. Y dependencia, it's also a prerequisite to understand organización. So dependencia, organización, and system are a closed loop of semantic flow. That might not be so obvious on this. I don't know why it's taking so long to load, really. It's very...
Maybe when you stay in the window, the operating system prioritizes.
It's Rothel.
Yeah, you were trying to
If
you were hoping that things would happen behind.
If we find Systema that it should be not so hard because it has to be a very big ball, a very big circle on the graph. No, maybe it has been proven because it's a supernode. Well, in any case, it's not fine-tuned. The question is, there's co-occurrence takes a different perspective of the dictionary. It shows a very different perspective from that of the semantic flow. The network is very different, and we think that merging these two information might be somewhat like maybe Joe will not like maybe the metaphor about a Kalman filter where you have a predictor, like a quick speed noise signal that might be lexicometric, and that you have a slow system that might be the semantic flow. It's broader, it's more chaotic if you want, but maybe it can be used to adjust the lexicometric relation and offer some insights about the organization of the contents. And this may be very interesting, especially when merging different fields of fields of knowledge, different knowledge domains definition for a term.
I think one of the things that can help us to understand, to unravel what is the meaning of these implications is when we take the explicit relations that exist. No, what I mean with this is something we haven't done.
Yeah.
Is, for example, what are the verbal relations that exist between the two concepts?
Yeah.
If it is, it implies, it consists of, depending of the collections of what are the verbal relations that has been established within the text, then we can unravel better what is this real dependency. Yeah. Because something is okay, the author, so this human supervision has seen, okay, it's good that you see this concept, but this is not exactly semantic implication. So that that is required. Often it is because it is what Charles Francois is trying to make the connection. So you should read.
To note that I'm trying to make a difference between semantic and epistemological. So semantic relations here is about the symbols, not the epistemological, what we get to know. But the epistemological flow is not talking about what we mean, but but the relation between the symbols.
But in any case, there are many things that can be observed. For example, something that he pointed out and it concerns also clarity. One of the links that is one of the important notes is example. And for clarity, we know that exemplification is fundamental. And you see how it is connected and what kind of examples exist. So there are several things that can be observed with the mapping that goes over so the theoretical so observation or the understanding, the reading, so it helps to that. It helps to the theoretical development, I think. So any comment, any other comment, question you want
Sorry
to
for
make?
the English.
Danny.
You?
Danny.
Yes.
Yes.
Danny, the meaning of the colors is about the collection, so I didn't remember.
The grouping.
Is the automatical, we use Leiden grouping over here because it's recommended for directed flows. So this is algorithm.
It's just grouping, so because of the distance, so that there are lesser distance, so there are clusters.
All that cluster are especially correlated. If you go to co-occurrence, it's the same. You have clusters usually go near, so you take estructura, interacción atractor, función, control. This is an algorithmic and a very documented algorithm approach. You can define how many of these clusters you want to be found, and they try and make yourself a sense of all of this mess.
Okay, and the size of the circles is only about occurrences.
Yes, in this case it's about occurrences, and in this case it's about semantic intake. So this over here you are seeing the frequency of occurrence of this word. This is, as it's lexicometric study, you just count how many times did appear this. This has a frequency of 98 and 39 grades, so it has 39 connections. Yeah, well, nothing in this case not incoming because this has no direction.
Yeah,
okay?
I know.
So it has
the number of links that start or finish in this circle or something like that.
98 frequency, and the cluster number is number 3, corresponds to the color. So you have the frequency, you here have the colors showing the frequency, the size showing the frequency, the color showing the cluster. Then you got the soft lines are bigger as they are more frequently found, the pairs, and they are shown as a continuous line when the author on she also on the diccionario show it as an explicit relation. He defined a word, and they at the end, at the footnote, he wrote "C also." Well, this is a C also relation that also appears as a heavy co-occurrence. When you have co-occurrence that don't have an explicit C also relation, we show them as a dashed line. So tiempo and concreto have a very near lexicometric co-occurrence, but are not explicit mentioned by the author.
And you have said that this is blind to synonymia, but also not only synonymia, but also words of the same root or expressions about the same roots. Of...
No. This has nothing to do with synonymia. In fact, this could be used to. Well, we can discuss in other moments.
Yeah. In the other graphic, because I was playing with the demo you shared me, and I think it finds things that are very repeated. You have shown this tipos de organización. Maybe it's the same that organización, but is there any way of?
It's not. No.
The question is the provenance of the word. The co-occurrence is a bag of words from all the text, and then the semantic flow are showing just the canonical terms written on the dictionary. So these are just the details and the semantic flow between the details. There's, with a little of luck, of course, these details will appear on the co-occurrence, but they are just complementary perspective of the corpus, but not are directly interchangeable. No.
So Isaac,
Yeah,
there is one refinement that we can work in. We won't do it right now. And this refinement concerns, what are the concepts? There are maybe several concepts that we can remove, but this is a fine tuning. But in any case, some of those composed terms, they are intended and they are important. So, for example, particularly that one, tipos de organización, because that hierarchy, it contains the hierarchy and it's very central for the dictionary itself. But this is something we can discuss in other occasions.
Preliminary, no filters, no frill approach that is already working, and I think it's pretty nice for the little filter it has.
Okay. Nice. So Daniel, thank you very much. I don't know if anyone want to do the last word about that.
So let's move to the next one.
So we can move to the next. Start to share your screen, Isaac.
Okay. So you see my screen?
Not yet. So the network presentation of Daniel was impressive. We're very happy.
What's happening? Okay, let me check it this way. I have some trouble with the double screen. Let me. Okay. I think
No.
so,
No.
because I'm looking for it. Okay. It's telling me some errors. The Google Meet. Let me check it first.
No, but
no, we can see it. It's fine.
Yeah, I cannot change the slide. Why?
You can.
What's happening with that? Well, then I'll do it the old way. Right now? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So, well, we are presenting. This is a work in progress in very initial stage. Okay. And we have called it analysis of coherence and context dependence using generative AI tools for concept clarification and clear language detection tasks. I know everything that is said in this title is forbidden in our group, but I'm going to explain why we are trying to do this research. Well, we were talking, Nieves, Patricia, and me, about a situation that we find very often in our classrooms or in our virtual classrooms. That the thing is that nobody cares about the rules, and everybody try to use these artificial intelligence generative tools to cheat everybody. It doesn't matter whatever the tool is. We are also using in our day-to-day tasks, and well, our students do so. So, well, while we wish that our Glossal App site could be an eye-free site, like Jose Maria told yesterday, we are going to suppose that nobody cares, and we cannot lose a lot of time doing this police work to try to push the people that do so. So, well, this is like a very big tsunami wave, and with a lot of energy, and we are going to try to take advantage about this. So, but the first stage to do so, to try to take the energy in a good way of this situation, is trying to understand what our users or what our students are going to do, and try to understand what are they going to what is going to be their user experience in this task of generation of content or text generation. So we were reading about this, you know, that right now Notebook LM, this tool from Google Works Out tools, has become the most spreaded one in academic spaces or academic environments. Also in our universities, the tool that our IT service has recommended to be used in next years, not only for researching, also for teaching, and also to be used by the students. So if we are recommending to our students to use it, maybe it's a nonsense to later try to forbid them to do so. So, well, in this first pseudo hypothesis moment, we have been doing some very simple tests. Our first objective was these 3 points. We want to try to understand how this text tools, generation tools works, and try to compare if or verify if they are going to offer the same response to the students, because well, you have to suppose that they are going to use them like a virtual teacher or virtual very wise tool that is going to answer with a correct answer to their questions. So it's going to be a problem if they are different for each person. Well, in the same moment, we want to say if this, we want to research if this situation is happening because of the prompt effect. If well, maybe we are supposing that if we share also the prompts, the tool is going to answer with a similar test. And after all, well, we are trying to reproduce what this potential or supposed user or this supposed student is going to do, that is use IE tools for everything, also for breathing. Because, but in this way, that we are not going to be the sniffers of the policy that are going to rule them. We have some content. If the content is correct, maybe it's a very great use of these tools to do the tasks we are going to tell them to. So we have designed this very simple methodology in 5 steps. First, we are going to compare what happens when a person uses these tools in the first moment without any customization, without any instruction, any prompt, any configuration in any part, only the default way of working. After that, we are going to make also using AI generative tools, a very, very detailed instruction, like a teacher is going to explain how to do a work, a task, or anything. So we are going to give this detailed instruction to the tool and compare what is going to happen. In the third stage, we are going to to make a fine tuning of this detailed instruction, and also try to give a focus to the tool. We were starting with like we are trying to make some clarification about the topics that Patricia and Nieves works on. We select the concept of diversity and focus the instruction, the prompts, to try that the tool give us an answer focusing in this concept. The fourth stage is take little conversation with the notebook LM tool from the chat, not from this, this pre-customized tools that it has in the studio part. And the last one, we were trying to, we are working in a project that use clear text, plain text, as the core of the studies of the research. So we are going to upload the ISO for this scenario, and compare what's going to happen, and try to analyze if the tool is going to make the answers following the instructions that are in this recommendation. So in this, as you know, we are only starting to do the comparison. So we have developed two isolated notebooks in two users. We have a third one. We are three researchers, and we are comparing our experience in our notebooks, because we have also want to analyze if the contents, if the initial context, or what the user have been done with these tools is going to bias the answers. So we using three completely blank notebooks, we have done this initial test. We have do this first stage of asking the tools about the LOM law. Is our educational law right now in Spain, and we have next we have uploaded this law to the notebook. We have followed this 5-stage process, and we want to receive a small test or a small report that analyze from the law what this law talks about diversity, and trying to do so in a clear language way. Well, the first results is that we haven't received, this was supposed, no identical responses. Notebook does not replicate word for word, because we everybody know that these tools make this probability way of generating text, so the words are not exactly the same, but they have very high semantic fidelity. We have also used AI generative tools to check the semantic fidelity, and the results are very good. But what it happens at the first time is that the tool is very biased by the history of the users. All of us have been using this notebook LM previously, and this previously use gives this previous customization drastically make some effects in the interpretation. So this is our first results when we were comparing notebooks from Patricia and me using this green prompt that is very well fit to the tags we want, and for this first research we have found what we suppose at the first hypothesis, that the answers may have some semantic consistency despite of the literal deviance. But this is not so good, because maybe it depends on the people that is going to listen to us or to read this test, if it's going to, this literally consistence may make some effects in their learning processes, because maybe some words may stay and may appear in the answer because they are going to be important to these people to understand the in concept. And that's so. This is the moment we are focusing the test in trying to extract some interpretation, some clarification about the concept of diversity, and what we have positively found is that these tools, as it's supposed to do, makes a very correctly identification of the parts in the law where the diversity concept is written, and the main things that they have to be taken into account when you use this law in our educational spaces. We were checking how this tool do its job about plain language, and another tool said that it has a rate of good, the 3/4, in the use of the recommendation criteria. And well, we have some failures we have to analyze and to still continue researching that are related with this biasing from the previous use of the tool. So well, that's so. I think it's something we have to be taken into account, because despite we want the people to make a clean and very well use of the platform, I think it's difficult, because most people are going to start to do our tasks or our activities using this artificial intelligence generation tools. So what I think we are going to continue researching on that, and making some experiments, and I want I wish that my fellows and me would show you some results in the next Glosala workshop, or maybe in Artis comes in November.
Thank you, Isaac. You didn't notice the clock ringing, but
I noticed, but
thank you.
I'm sorry.
Any comment or question? Even though we were reducing the time so that it ring more and more, but it wasn't successful.
I'm so I speak very slowly.
So, to be not the only one. So, but any comment or question by the audience, by the colleagues? Not say audience, we are colleagues. We here together, friends. For example, what I find kind of pitfall is that the only task to be given is to find jargon and then take it away. If that's the only thing that can be automated as well, then there is no learning at all.
They can automate a lot.
But you said, but what I don't understand, neither, is how do you do that literal consistent? Is what I didn't understand. So how do you do that? The literal. What do you mean with that?
I have to be honest. I think Nieves, Patricia, you are connected as well, but we have to be honest. We ask to the tool do the analysis, but because we want to analyze the real way the people are using these tools, that is without or with the mind switched off. You give all the responsibility to the tools. You don't, for example, for this task, and with trying to not to be deep inside of the problem. If you tell this question to one of our students, he or she is going to say, okay, Gemini, make an analysis of the literal consistency of these two texts. And whatever is happened is what they are going to answer to you. So we are to experiment all the process done in this way, with the mind switch off and trying to give all the responsibility to the tools. And what this is what we did. We asked. I don't remember the other tool is Gemini or is ChatGPT. Patricia, give me a help because we have there's a lot of things.
Gemini.
And also not will disconnect it through your account. So all this bias of what the tool is learning about you is going to happen in both scenarios, and this is the way they are going to.
No, but the real way to check. Isaac, the real way to check that is that you can't really find that there is a comprehension or not when you really read that. And on the other hand,
no, we are not telling that. We are not making this research in the point of view of you that they are going to read the results. We are trying to understand the way they take these tools in the user experience, in the experience of the users, not user experience what we are talking about yesterday. If what they are going to do, despite whatever you tell them to do. You can tell them you have to. For example, yesterday I were discussing with another PhD student that maybe he has to rewrite some part of one text because I have read it and I know he has not understand anything and he has done this test with an artificial intelligence tools. Okay, I have tell him the instructions. But I have no any way to check that if he is going to follow them. So maybe he is going to say he's going to make a new prompt telling, well, you have to cheat my teacher because my teacher have technique. So we are going to spend a lot of time in this loop. Like I have what is my point of view? I don't care. I want a text well written, and if you haven't understood anything, it's your problem because you have to demonstrate it later in a text, in anything. But I have to take care of my platform and take care that the text is correct. But I don't. I have not enough tools and enough time to pursue everybody to know what they are using or what they are thinking or whatever.
let me go back. I think it was like about December 2022 or 2023 when this person besides me, Antonio said, ChatGPT, why don't we do what you're saying? Why don't we ask to fill up concepts, and we had a discussion about that.
Yeah, but
and
I don't want to came back to this moment. This is an idea to take care what our students are going to or how they are going to acquire their knowledge. Because if I have 40 or 50 people in a classroom, well, I don't know what they are going to do to study. I can prepare material. I can prepare design a grid game like Noelia, or I can do whatever. But they are going to do what they want at their room when they are alone. So I'm a bit afraid of what is going to happen if they use the tools in this way. For example, I have been living this thing with my children. In their school, the history teachers use notebook to give them all these objects the notebook LM prepare. It prepare audio podcast, it prepare a video cast, it prepares I don't remember all the these tools. They have a lot of them, and very interesting, and graphically they are. We were discussing that later that graphically they are very engaging. My English is engaged. Thank you, Nives. Because for small children, this graphical appearance is great. But the problem is that if my doctor use it alone, well, if they only use what the teacher gives, is the same way as the traditional way, because everybody are going to use the same material to learn. But the problem is that they are telling everybody that these tools gives you a personalized, more personalized way of learning that you can use to prepare your own material to learn. Whatever you are listening. And our researching hypothesis was, okay, if the 40 students in a classroom use notebook to learn about diversity in the law, they are going to receive the same thing, the same knowledge, or anyone. Imagine that each of the 40 people is going to receive different answers with different information and different explanation of the same concept. It's going to be really chaotic, at least. So this is what we were wanting to analyze, to compare.
Yeah, I imagine that literal consistency is there. It appears like the same text or something like that, because I still don't haven't defined.
Yes, I didn't.
No, I was just, let me just open the camera. It's not working. Okay. Well, I just wanted to say that literal consistency implies that everybody has got the same result from the structural and linguistic point of view. When we talk about semantic, is that semantic consistency, it means that we all work with the same terms, but maybe in a different way. The thing that we're trying to explain is that with the same prompt, we obtain different results. So what are the implications for that at an educational level, right? Mm-hmm. So how do we need to change assessment? How do we need to change evaluation according to that? How do we need to organize our activities? right? So what are we going to give more importance to? To semantic consistency, to literal consistency? What do we want from our students, right? So we have started from the tiny element is that, okay, we're going to use an AI tool in order to obtain just a sample of how they can, we can operate and obtain some initial results, right? But the thing can be more complicated. I don't know if I explained myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course,
Yes.
it will be great if we could demonstrate that the semantic or well the knowledge consistency is correct, because this is going to be the best.
Yeah, but that's what
result.
that's what Danny was saying. So if you ask to an artificial intelligence, how
Mhm.
is the artificial intelligence product? They are selling themselves in a way. So they're saying, oh, yeah, yes, we are perfect.
Yeah,
So
of course.
the best way compare
Or you say
with some.
you have what that it itself give a 3/4 score, but maybe if we read deep the results, the result we everybody in this chat is going to give a worse score, because they try to give you in any situation a very positive result of any answer you ask them.
But what is most interesting for me is that the tool is biased, right? So according to previous work, according to, I don't know whether they obtain the data, your personal data or whatever, I don't know, I'm just imagining, maybe I'm just a little freaking out with this story of data, but the results are different. Maybe the terminology, the specific terms we're working with are exactly the same, but the presentation, the way the tool interacts with you is different. And this is really interesting. So what are these AI tools producing? The things you want them to produce? Any of us want them to produce, or clear a specific content that applies to any of us independently of our characteristics? That's the story.
There is one simple reason for that, because artificial idiotness is working with a randomized system, so it creates random by design, because this is a way to make that it looks like being intelligent while it is an idiot. So it requires to have something that looks like what happens with human understanding, because depending on human understanding, that is going to be different from one to another, then the result is going to be different. For them, if you don't have that randomization by design, and this is something that you can take it away from the artificial intelligence, and then you get always the same result. So maybe you could play also with that temperature of the artificial intelligence to see what happened. Actually, what I would like to unravel is what I'm more interested in, is to unravel the idiotness of artificial intelligence, because we want to have from our students when they're learning that they are not idiot anymore to respect to the subject we're learning. So at the beginning, kind of they don't know. So in the ideal situation, otherwise they wouldn't need our teaching. So if they don't know, we can put it in terms so they are idiot to that respect, to that in that subject. And we want that they are not idiot anymore. And they are using a tool that by design, so not by design, by itself. So it is not intelligent by essence. So it's an idiot. Then the good thing were how to detect the idiotness.
Yeah, but for example, we have chosen this tool notebook LM because it's written and it's said or it described that this tool is not going to do so. It's going to only use the context you give and the material you give and the files you give. So is this randomization or this what all the other tools do? They said that it's not supposed to do so if you use notebook. This is the thing. This is the principal reason that because everybody in education is choosing notebook against the other tools, but we don't think so. We have experience with a very simple check with these prompts that this is not happening also in this tool. That it might be isolated from the other context. Maybe Google knows a lot about you, but it's supposed that a notebook doesn't mind what Google knows to bias the answer. But
So
the reality doesn't compare with the description.
we have to discuss that in the next weeks. So there are many things to be thought about. But in any, I just want to point something very short, and it's the education. What we give to the students is just a primer. You know, the concept of primer. It's like the painting on one of the concepts is just like the basics. If it is a good educational content or a good education, this is just the primer is also what helps to explode. Is the small explosive to create a bigger explosion. So when the learning happens, there is an explosion of the capacity, and it's never included in what is being given to the students. So when they already learn, then they can just walk again alone. They can walk alone. The AI, and this is the real danger of AI, of relying of AI in general by our society, is that it cannot work alone.
Yeah, but you are going to you're going to get very angry with what I'm going to say. But this is the same problem with the cells. This is why I tell you that the cell problem is an obsolete problem, because you have right now the access to the artificial intelligence for free for them. It's free.
What's the cell problem? What is the cell problem?
Yeah, you say they cannot work alone, but they are alone. They are completely alone every day. Because they have access to these tools for free and very easy. So
I know.
We cannot came back 1,000 years ago or 10 years ago.
Sorry, but we are talking about very different things, because I think Jose Maria is talking about education in the ideal philosophical sense, right? Which I love this concept, right? But then the reality is completely different. Is that you have to offer the students a set of I don't know, concepts, ideas, etc. You have to evaluate them. You have to give them a 5, a 6, or a 7, right? And we are all in the same wheel all the time. So we are because they are, because we are made to be like that, right? So one thing is education in the Platonic philosophical idea, right? But another one is the real world. So please, Maria, go down to the earth.
Go down to the earth.
What you call Platonic is the real education. The other is the patient.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, I agree with you, right? And we can be peripatetic, walking around and learning from each other. Fantastic, great. But then I have to give a student a 6 or a 5.
I finished my course of didactics.
I finished.
I finished with this the same sentence, but in Spanish. Last week, my course in didactics of mathematics. Whatever we are in this master of teachers. for teachers because I have to prepare 3 sessions about a lot of kinds of evaluation stuff because this law, the LOMLOE law, talks about a lot of things, but at the end, I have to teach these students that they are going to be teachers next years, that they have to do all of these active things, very real, very joyful kinds of evaluation. But at the end, I'm going to give them an exam in paper exam to be filled with memoristic things, to give them something above 5. And they don't care about any other thing. So I agree with Nieves. The real is very different, and we cannot stay in a different way. We can live in our multiverse, in the universe we want, but they have different rules. Each universe have different rules.
Okay, no, thank you very much. It is very provocative. It is very.
No, I'm not provocative. The provocation was yesterday. Today, I'm very.
Come here and tell it to my face.
Noelia, are you connected? Are you still connected?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Okay, I see her. You have to introduce the mechanics in your game. You have to introduce the mechanics of this very, very interesting game. You see? Tranvía Mortal.
Yes, yes.
It's really great, and I think the students are going to enjoy it. You can mix the mechanics of the other one that I know Baldomero also, but this is more provocative and destroyer. So
okay, I will have a look.
Interesting conversation.
Pay no notice of him. Forget him. Right?
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
So, thank you, everyone.
Nice.
It has been turn on your camera so that we can take a picture, like having the feeling that we were always connected and seeing each other.
Yeah.
Let's see who is capable of. Yeah, great, wonderful.
Yeah,
I
also.
can even look myself. I was tuning
There
on.
were a lot of people listening.
Right, Alicia, Rodrigo, Sonia. Let's hope. Patricia, great.
Alicia is killing my cup because
let's hope that more.
has
No,
access in
Rodrigo is the only.
Okay. Alicia is there.
So I'm going to.
Good. Only Rodrigo and Sonia. Okay, so take the picture. Sonia has a small picture there. Rodrigo is there. Making. Okay, we took the picture. So it has been very joyful being together. So always the online means makes so the distance cannot be solved. It is always better being together, but we could have the feeling of having been together, having been thinking in things we are working together. And I think you have pointed out to a lot of different works. Many of them, they are very reliable. Many of them, they are work in progress, and that can I'm absolutely sure that they can produce very fruitful results. And we are still connected to work together in making them alive and making them truth. So let's keep in touch. So in the next year we will be also here. So take notice. So we have another workshop in Syros, but this workshop, as you know, it also ends in November. So Glossal Lab workshop likes to be long, so have different stations. So our last station ends in Lisbon. So Teresa is the organizer of the artist conference. So you can polish if you want. So before you request for reviewing your proposal here in Glossal Lab, but as you know, that can be converted into a paper. So for the artists, so artists can't be, so the proposal, so the article can be ended by the end of the month. So is when the deadline is for the artist paper. And as the people who has done it before, so you know, it goes through the process of the summer, and it is published more or less when the Congress happens. So we will have a final opportunity to present our papers, even if it is here or also in other venue. I know some people are committed to have this publication also in a different venue. So thank you very much for your participation. I hope you have enjoyed, you have at least seen what the rest of the team is working, what other people are proposing and working, and I hope this help us to work more efficiently together. That was the purpose. For example, just to end with regard the people who follow the workshop of yesterday, which is a training that we certified. We have until the end of the month for the people who want to do that, which is not necessary, so it's just for them. And all your participations, the one who has gone through the normal process, and as I said, you have to finish the profile, otherwise we cannot link that this was a paper that was created, for example, by it was Juan, didn't have it yet, the profile ended, so we cannot establish a link because we, in the end, to create the certificates, we have automated, so then we don't have any connection. So if you don't want to finish your profile, then we cannot certify that. So just to recall. So again, thank you very much, Kali Espera from Greece. We wait for you in the next occasion. So thank you so much. Evcharistos.
Evcharistos.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, 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 ciao. Teresa.
Hola. ¿Qué tal?
Tú puedes
Sí,
sí.
Pues hecho.
Tú te quedas, Teresa. ¿Quieres venir a Syros con nosotros?
No puedo. Hasta luego. Y gracias.
Ya es porque has cerrado el ordenador. Tienes que quitar tu altavoz.
Ok. Que yo tengo. Igual estás diciendo algo.
Tú,
No, ya lo que estoy diciendo ya.
Ha quedado grabado ya.
Ciérrate.
Hala, ciérrate, que ya no hay nadie más. Hala, venga. Chao.